everybody. Hello, hello, hello.
Beautiful.
It is. This is the Global Party 2017 Healing from the Inside Out. And today's segment is with Beloved.
Hello. It's been so nice listening all day. I got up this morning watching and joining the party. It's awesome.
And it's going to be even more awesome now because we're going to be sharing about the journey to awakening.
Yes.
I can feel the energy just awakening.
I have to tell you that I'm looking at so it's so beautiful. Mm-hmm. And that's so much a part of the rhythm of nature, of the equinox. And I'm in Florida and I can feel from Maria. Anyway, she's in, and our surf is high and full. And if I was still surfing, I would be grabbing my board today.
Awesome.
Oh my God. It's beautiful. Yes, it's a perfect thing in a perfect place and a perfect time to do equinox.
And in truth, Beloved, your life is always perfect because that's how you just see things as perfect.
Absolutely. Is there any other way?
No.
No.
You and I are in agreement with that. So when I asked you about what song that you wanted to play at the party.
Yes, I said Awakening. It's an amazing song, and it's all about remembering who we are, and it's about telling us that we are all awakening. That's what we're doing right now. We are awakening.
Absolutely.
To the magnificent what's going on right now on planet. Even with all of the other things that are going on, we're here at an incredible time. And if we can just tune into that and just stay in our hearts and understand that we chose to be here now as part of this transformation, as part of this transformation. Yes, so we are awakening.
Okay, I will play a little bit of that. Just hold on here.
Okay.
We are awakening to the core of the awakening in the flowering of the heart. Everybody melting into presence, overflowing sense, rising in love.
We are awakening.
That's it. Everybody here melting into presence. Magnificent. Effervescence, it's who we are. We're bubbly. We're alive. We bubble. We're champagne, We're just, and if we can stay in presence. And I love the way they talk about melting into presence.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing harsh. It's not like, oh, I've got to be present. Oh, I've got to meditate. No, it's melting into presence. Just be here. Just be in your soul. Just be on your journey to awakening. So yeah, that beautiful, beautiful soul, our heart being, it's who we are. Love is who we are.
Yeah. Now, this is just like the energy here that you're just sharing about presence and awakening. It's such a gentle movement forward. And for those that have never, ever experienced this feeling, were you born like this, or was this something that you had to awaken to share the journey to awakening?
Actually, I was born like this. I've had very special moments in my life that took me to the next and the next and the next. You know, I used to say higher and higher and higher, but that's linear thinking. Really, I think of it as spiral. But I was born like this. You know, I came into an amazing family. They always wanted to know where I came from. My mother, as I developed and started doing things like, she would say, "Where did you come from? Where did you come from?" And I'd say, "Well, I came from, I came from source, like you did." I mean, even when I was young, it's really, it's really, really crazy. I'll tell you how crazy it is. I came into a family that lives to be over 100. My mother, I'm at my mom's right now because I came in to Florida after the hurricane, and I've been playing with her for a couple of days. The youngest of four, she's 92. I came into this long living family knowing that it gave me a different perspective. You know, people talk about middle age at 50 or whatever. No, that's like 80. But what happened was
middle age is like 80. You heard it here first. I go with it.
That's it. You got to imagine this little kid, and I was really sweet. I mean, I've always been very, very sweet. This is what people say about me. I'm not blowing my horn. But I got away with a lot of stuff because I was always sweet. But I would say to people, even grown-ups, I would say, I know it's really hard, but in 100 years, you're going to laugh about this. So why wait? Can't you see the good in it? What worked for you? Find the happiness. Find the happiness. So I've had all those labels on me. Pollyanna, her feet don't touch the ground, ungrounded. I mean, I'm sure you've had a lot of that too.
Yeah.
But I came in with that. And I came in as the cockeyed optimist. And I came into it. That is so crazy. Did I go away?
Just briefly, but you're back.
Okay. So I was so excited to do this with you that I got an iPad. So I'm on my iPad, but I guess my phone also comes on my iPad. Okay, spirit, angels, could you please keep everything quiet for the next half an hour or so we can talk and play and do all kinds of great things on the equinox for healing from the inside out. So, yeah.
Beautiful intention.
It's just always been that.
You've always been like that. And
yes.
So for those maybe that are younger, like, even in their teenage years or 20s that happen to see this, that feel that they are different, right? They feel they're different and they feel they don't really belong, but they certainly maybe don't have the fortitude or the courage or the knowingness that you did. What wisdom would you share with them?
I would tell them, number one, go with your gut. My thing is, everyone comes in all knowing. When we're born into this body, we know everything. We're not babies. I mean, we're babies. Our bodies are babies. We have to learn all over again. But I think when we first come in, and the first few years, we are still closer to where we've been than what we've come into. And we're taught that the things we know are not so. We're taught that imaginary playmate is imaginary. We're taught that, well, you're not really seeing Angel, really not Uncle Joe. We're taught We're taught. And as we come fully into body, we get so busy with the world. We have things to do. So I would encourage people to begin to live a life that's more natural. And by that, I mean getting back to that child self, getting back to play. Oh my God, pick up paints and play. I don't care if you're not an artist. I became a real artist 10 years ago. Before that, no, but I always played. And remember that you are a creative being. So play, be out in nature, you know, make friends with the natural world, with the trees and the tree spirits. Immerse yourself in the waters, in the lakes and the seas and the oceans, and just be part of that's not different from us. Getting back to that. You know, I so admire the indigenous cultures who keep it alive, who never lost it. You know, it's just part of who they are and the explanations. When I do workshops and I do sometimes corporate trainings, and I play crazy films, like one time we played Babe. But I am really big. I know, right? We're doing a group training. We're doing a getting together, getting to know each other. So in the evening we played Babe, and we did masks. We had them do, clay masks on each other, where all they had were the straws, and those sorts of things. Watch Pocahontas, for goodness sakes.
Right.
And really that's a big one for me. I mean, that the message is in there. Can you paint with all the colors of the wind? Can you hear the wind? Can you see the moon? Get into that. Get into honoring nature. I'm really big on time portals because I see them as natural time, and just coming back in to nature, because we are nature. We're embodied nature. So I would say that to everyone who's coming back in, especially teenagers. Go play. Life is not so serious.
Right.
Play. Do you know what I bought myself again a couple of years ago?
Jacks. Yeah.
I don't need my grandkids around. I sit on the floor and play jacks. Onesies, twosies, whoop, over the world. And I carry bubbles. I carry bubbles in my car.
Yeah.
And I have a sunroof. And when traffic is crazy and you know what people are saying, that's what I do. Out the window. Because I think it brings a smile to people. It brings them back into their heart.
Right.
Although one time it wasn't great. I was canoeing with a friend, and it was when I had just learned, and we were in this beautiful park, a beautiful waterway, and I didn't know how to canoe. That water was harder going one way on a stream or a river than another. So she's in the front and I'm in the back. And of course, I'm talking to everyone that goes by and I'm blowing bubbles. And she said to me, excuse me, are you blowing bubbles? I said, of course I am. You know me, of course. It's so beautiful here on the river. And I'm just having, and she said to me, do you have any idea what it's like for me right now doing all the work upstream? I said, no. What would you like me to do? She said, put down the bubbles and grab a paddle.
Oh, that's so good. I just want to acknowledge that Annie is here, and she was just saying hello and to you and to myself. And Annie, really what you just missed in the beginning, I was asking, we were talking about awakening, and Beloved's been like this her whole life, is the advice that she would give to somebody that recognizes that they're different in the world, a young teenager or early adult that was, didn't have the knowing that she had just to be herself. So that's what all this conversation was about, just playing and trusting your guidance, because that's all that's natural. And I'm going to go get bubbles. I mean, I've blown bubbles, but I never thought to keep them in the...
Oh, they're awesome. They're awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing I think for people when they're realizing that they're different, which fortunately I never knew.
Right.
Because I thought everybody was like me or like you, like all of us. But it's to talk about it, find people who are like you,
mm-hmm.
find groups and do fun things. Like we had a dream group in high school.
Okay.
And it was great. We would connect, at night before we went to sleep. We would tune into each other and then compare dreams in the morning. I mean, that's a wonderful thing. I have a couple of people, and the last thing we'll say to each other is, well, see you on the other side of the moon. And we'll go, because in dream time, we're not embodied.
Right.
I believe. Now, remember, everything I say is my understanding. But we leave our bodies and we travel and we're whole. I think we're whole when we're in dream time. So you can set yourself you can meet people, your groups, and you can agree to get together.
Yeah, it's quite fascinating when you are present to dreaming, right? Because I've spent most of my life, like, actually, I can still, my kids, because I can be looking at you, you'll think I'll be there, and really, in a sense, I'll have gone to sleep on one side, and I'll respond to you, right? It's that whole lucid waking, but almost, and when I had issues, when I was having these like little micro sleeps before I knew, when I was studying at university, I would be writing a paper, and I'd be writing something, and then I would be starting to doze off, so I'd actually have it in bracketed, right? So I'd be science, blah, 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 bracket, beloved, sharing journey to awakening, unbracket, and we'll continue on. And it was like I knew it didn't belong, but it was still there.
It's so crazy. When I was in college, I was taking an exam, an English exam, and I went in and I sat down just like we do. And the next thing I knew, my professor was asking me if I had finished. And I looked around, there was no one in the room but me. I don't know how much time had gone by.
Right.
I was not there. And he said, have you finished? And I had no idea if I finished. I don't remember taking the. I looked down at my book and it was complete. It was done. And I said, yes. And walked out. Those things happen when we live multidimensionally. And I think it's learning to be able to do that, because we're not just here. We're multidimensional and multisensory beings.
Yes.
So we're in many places.
And I feel that that's what the younger generation knows, right? They know it, and it's manifested by the fact that they want to be on all this social media, which isn't necessarily what they need, but that's the physical manifestation of how multi-aware they are, that they are supposed to be able to multitask and multidimensional and experience so much newness and innovation. And it's that process that we're going to have this radical shift, I think, that everybody's going to realize, you know what, this is all what we're already doing. It's all in the presence. We just think it's technology that's bringing us together, but it's really not, because we're already one.
I know. I've been so honored to be invited to do festivals. So this is the first summer I have the festivals, because I was in France for so long.
Mm-hmm.
But, I'm a crystal sound healer and channel. Right. And I do the opening ceremonies for several festivals. And these are festivals for the millennials. It's absolutely incredible to see and to be with these beautiful people. The people that I'm with come in wide open,
Yeah.
and they know it. And the way they treat one another as brothers and sisters, the young men are so careful to respect their sisters. Their sisters are so careful to respect their brothers. They're healers, and they come in knowing it.
Yeah.
They come in knowing. They also know their galactic selves. They know this isn't all there is to it. They're the ones that I know, they come in environmentally aware, and they're doing something. It's the first generation I've seen in quite a while that are really doing something, and they came in with a purpose and with a vengeance. And I mean that in a good way.
Yeah.
Passion, with the passion that they came in with. And oh my God, what an honor and what a blessing to be invited to serve with them and just be in their energy and see who they are and what they're bringing. It's just,
so when is this festival happening?
There's one coming up, I guess, this weekend. For the last 5 years, I've done one festival called 3 Days of Light.
Okay.
I've done another called Love Evolution, and I've done a couple more. But those are the main ones that that I do. So it was hard this year not to do it, but France was calling. You can't keep the fairy woman in place.
No, and you got to go with where you got to go, right?
Exactly. You have to do that. But it's been a joy, to see that and to be with them. Now they're older than the high school kids.
Right.
These are starting at the festivals. They're usually starting college and older.
Right. Yeah. But no, it's most definitely a very exciting time.
It's such an exciting time. Yeah. It's very exciting.
As people are journeying to awakening, right? Are there any really 3 hot tips you can give them to start the process? Is there a manual they get to read? I mean, how does one journey to awakening?
Let's see, I have a couple of books, but no, I was just I think that I can tell you what I did and how I set things up. Okay. Like I said, early on, it was just me. But then there came a point that I wanted to consciously set my life in a particular direction.
Right.
Okay. And this is what I share with people. I share my process. Mm-hmm. And I believe a couple of things are really important. Number one, a daily practice. Mm-hmm. Don't much care what your practice is. I have special things that I prefer. I'm a Kundalini yogini, and I teach that. I've been teaching Kundalini for years and Hatha for years. Mm-hmm. But I also am really big on, and I'm a Qigong instructor also. I've been told that, I have instruction from my guides and teachers, like most of us, mm-hmm. and my primary guide is Archangel Ariel. So years and years and years ago, mm-hmm. they told me that there are 3 energetic technologies on planet Earth that are important for us to do. Okay. One is Kundalini Yoga. Okay. One is Tai Chi. Mm-hmm. And one is Qigong. They're not talking about, the other yogas are absolutely beautiful. And like I said, I've been teaching them forever. But they're talking about energetic technologies. Right. And these three systems work on our field. Okay. And it's important that we work on our field. It's important, number one, movement. Mm-hmm. We must move these because this is how we live on Earth. These are our beautiful temples, but more than that, they are our vehicles of experience. Yes. So to be on a spiritual path without also creating energetic coherence with your physical body is only part of the picture.
Right.
Okay. So those three energetic technologies, okay, a daily practice.
Okay.
I am a meditator. Now, my meditation might not look like someone else's meditation. And when I share that and I teach that, it's not about being uncomfortable.
Right.
You know, it's not about sitting there and saying, okay, I'm supposed to sit here. Oh, I have a thought. Oh my God, look at that. Look at that. Thinking about tonight. Oh, well, I guess I'm not doing this very well. Oh, so why am I doing that? Excuse me.
Right.
One of my finest teachers has this, when thoughts come in, let them come in through the front door and out to the back. Do not invite them for tea. Okay? We have thoughts. So I'm not talking about this rigid, you know, set the clock 20 minutes, rigid, think nothing. I'm not talking about that. The whole point is connection. It's about connection. Now, for me, prayer is talking. Meditation is listening.
Okay.
So that's why I do that in my practice. My other thing is journaling.
Okay.
And journal. And I know that I need a sip. Yeah, because what happens, excuse me, what happens when you journal is, I find, I get to the point, even if I have nothing to say, just because it's one of the connections to source. It's one of the connections to all of us. It's one way of getting that out. And you know, if you start and you start writing, and at first it might just sound like a diary. Dear diary, today I got up today. I had bacon and eggs. You know,
Yeah.
Even if it starts like that,
Right.
It doesn't matter, because at some point it becomes an interior practice.
Yes.
And oh my gosh, the things that unfold, and then you can start to ask questions. You know, what do I need to know today?
Right.
Now I do it through the angels or through my guides and teachers, but you don't have to. You know, do it through yourself.
Yeah.
Hey, self, what do you want me to know today? But those three things together, I find, just is the connecting point. It's not about discipline. It's not about hardship. It's not about suffering. And you get to the point, or at least I get to the point, that I get up in the morning, it's like, oh yeah, okay. And the day seems unnatural without it.
Right.
And then at night, gratitudes.
Yeah.
Open your journal and what were you grateful for today? You know, even if you can only think of one thing.
Right.
And everyone think of one thing. The sun was shining, or my back doesn't hurt,
or I'm alive.
Like when you start off, these are that are there often. You know, but it's not supposed to be hard.
No.
And if you're doing your practice and you miss a day, don't do it. And if something else comes in, I keep an art journal. So some days I just get up and I just want to do art. You know, do that. Do whatever feels right to you. Whatever feeds your soul. You know, you want to go take a walk. That's part of your practice.
Right.
And I call it, I'm not going anywhere. I don't have to be perfect. You know?
But that's the journey to awakening. Is to trust yourself that whatever you feel you're to do is the the best for your highest and best good, right? That you're awakening,
Absolutely.
trusting the unknown, and then you go, oh, and that worked out well for me, and that worked out well for me. We are going to be like carrying this type of conversation on every week, right?
Yes, we're going to be doing every week. We're going to be doing Journey to Awakening and all kinds of different conversations.
And time portals and fun stuff that we're just going to like blow your mind with because you all know it, but now we're going to bring it full and right here.
Exactly. That's why I was told to call my work Awakening. All know this. You know, we all know this. So it's just about waking those parts up.
Mm-hmm.
That
well, I would like to keep this awakening conversation going, but I have to get ready for the next one and get this processed so other people can watch you on recording. And I just want to say thank you for being here.
Thank you so much. It's so fun going to your party. I just want to wish everybody an absolutely glorious, angel blessed day. Awesome.
Feel your love. And I will see you on Wednesday at 11 Eastern time, 12 Atlanta time, my time. Okay.
Exactly. Thank you, sweetheart.
Thanks. Bye.
Have a beautiful rest of the day. Bye.